the vibe of the event is important to address, like what you're trying to create there. And so what I noticed is, first of all, you want to make sure everybody introduces themselves, everyone feels welcome to express who they are, even if they're resisting you, so you're walking the mic, getting everyone interested. Everyone's dressed up, and I'm wondering why you do that. There's at least 50-50 men, women. Sometimes it seems like more women, and the women sometimes come from fashion or the chess club or whatever, and they're in the cocktail dresses, and it forces us guys to really step up our game. And it's just a really gives you a little bit of electric vibe. It's fun. You have someone on the stage to talk, but everyone has to be silent for the talk, and it's just kind of dynamic. So it's not stuffy, but also there's always things happen. I always meet some interesting people there.
So perceptive comment. So it's all by experiment and it's all by design, and both things are true at once. It's all by experiment and it's all by design. Okay, I knew from the beginning, well, I'll take each element. Okay, why have people dress up? You know, some people complained. Some people get turned away and they get annoyed. Well, it's not Crypto Tuesdays, it's Tech Tuesdays. It's a tech and business event. Okay, we're in Dubai. This is in some ways a traditional culture. And you know, why are you here unless you want to enjoy the traditional culture? We want to have an environment where it's not just the usual suspects, but you know, it's a tech event, but it's heavy female population in the group, like you notice. That's unusual. There's a ton of very successful businesswomen here, and they shy away from events where they're not treated correctly. So I'm intentionally creating, and my wife and I and Siam are intentionally creating a very female-safe environment without overdoing it. You know, because you can go too far the other direction also, and then it becomes oppressive in its own way. We thread the needle very carefully. The dress code, it's a chance to glam up.
Yeah.
You know, it is an opportunity. You dress very well. You've made a point of it, and you've evolved your style over time. You know, you aren't your suit, but your suit communicates something, and it has you act a certain way when you're wearing it, and people interact with you in a certain way when you're wearing it, even though it's obviously not your skin. Right, you know, we're all the same people underneath, but it communicates a certain idea. It's a professional event. We're not there getting drunk. We're not there having a wild party. We're there in an environment that's a little bit conservative enough that people can come, and if they're normally nervous about a tech or business event or a large gathering, they know it's safe within a certain way. And as you pointed out, it's a lot of Emiratis there. It's a lot of Arabs there. It's a lot of Muslims there. Okay, you know, and you know, it needs to be a place where people feel comfortable drinking or not drinking, and not feeling awkward about that. We have a large contingent that doesn't drink alcohol, and it's fine. They feel comfortable. You know, you saw the honor table at the front with all the local personages, I guess, for lack of a better word. So it's all a careful dance. And part of the dance is, you know, or it's all a carefully prepared dish, and part of that dish is removing certain ingredients. To be blunt, if there's someone who makes women feel uncomfortable, they're never going to come back.
So you get a couple complaints and they're off the list.
Especially, so you know, I'm on one hand I'm having fun, on the other hand I'm watching it like a ADHD hawk, which is something else we can talk about. You know,
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside, I view, is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.
I have that sort of peripheral vision of social interaction, and I'm just scanning the room to make sure everyone's happy and everyone's comfortable. I'm scanning the room to make sure the stage is getting the attention it can get. As you alluded to, look, it's not a library, it's not a conference. It is a networking event. People are going to talk even when other people are talking on stage. I just try to keep a bounce there. I don't want to be too oppressive, but I want to have enough attention on the front. You know, you've dealt with this yourself. Yeah. It's just I'm doing a constant vibe control.
Okay.
You know, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And you know, and how is it so consistent? It's not always easy, but I think it's hard to be consistent when you're in a vacuum. But when you have a team, it's a lot easier. And when you have a social expectation that you do something, it's a lot easier. And my ego is either strong enough or insecure enough that I can't stop because I don't want people to see me stopping. So even if I'm like, oh gosh, I'm tired, I feel the urge to do it. Plus, I know what we're building. We're going to a whole multi-city model, which we can talk about. Okay. And I know the value it brings, and people have it, like it. And to be honest, I enjoy it. It is fun. It is a lot of fun.
It looks like fun.
Yeah, it's a blast.
And so you're super proud. You're like 42 in a row.
Yeah.
And why can't you take a week off?
Well, I'll tell you, the day my son was born, the day Joseph popped out of arena to make it it was actually a beautiful experience, but I mean, just being casual about it. He came out, I made sure he was okay, I made sure she was okay, I got the hall pass, I Ubered over to Tech Tuesdays, ran the stage for all of an hour. I said, my son was just born, but I'm here to show I'm serious. Nice. Made sure everyone was good. Luckily, Mohammed Siam and my friend Rick took over, and I went back to the hospital, and it was good. There's only been two Tuesdays we haven't done it. One of them, we had an iftar that week, so we had an alternative event, and the other one was New Year's Eve. And for some reason, people didn't want to do New Year's Eve at Tech Tuesdays.
So you were ready to do it?
I was ready to do it. We actually had the venue.
Amazing.
But it was like, Gordon, just relax for a week. I'm like, okay. But, and we do it during the summer when things normally die out. But, a lot of people, Dubai, especially in the crypto world, is famous, unfortunately, for rug pulls. People talk big. They build up a community. They look like they're serious. They have a team that looks like they're serious. And then they get bored, or they run away with the Ethereum, or something happens, they have their own little drama, and then you're like, what the hell happened there? What happened to my coin? Now the whole team is like run away with the deposit. Or what happened to this event? They go to number 8 and then they wait for 3 months before number 9 or something. It's like, a nice weekly event you got there. So, that happens a lot here. But, I think once you're consistent, let me put it this way, Dubai is great, but Dubai is a low trust environment for a variety of reasons. Because people come and go, and there's people are fast talkers and don't necessarily deliver. Imagine creating a high trust bubble in a low trust environment. Once people see that, they love it. And consistency in doing what you say you're going to do, being a man of your word, creates trust. And when they see this happening every week, it creates trust. And when people can see each other every week and get to know each other, it creates trust. And then you get business done. There's a lot of money being made in that room.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, and I've started to build up trust with a lot of people there because I've seen them now 3-4 times. And so first time you connect, but then you don't really send a message afterwards. The next time you have a little more of a conversation, and then you're meeting up, and it's the thing. But only an American would do this every week in a row to an obsessive way. And that's a beautiful thing.
Well, I am German also.
Okay.
So maybe a German would. And
maybe.
And I mentioned before casually, but just to be clear, with the ADHD thing, one of the compensatory things for ADHD is being a little bit OCD, being a little bit overly structured. So I have controlled chaos. I structure is good. So if I know this is, if it was once a week but I didn't know what day, we wouldn't be doing it. But it's Tech Tuesdays. I locked myself in. If it doesn't happen on Tuesday, everyone knows it didn't happen. And everyone's staring and asking what happened. So I built the structure around me that supports accomplishing the goal. And again, my wife is fantastic, and she has her women's community that comes. Mohammed Siam is fantastic. He's got the local connections, the government connections, and he's integrated with the society. I mean, when you think about it, we're 3 very different people.
Yeah.
Very different.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith, because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.